Omaha is known for having a great art scene, but One Metro Art Gallery is the prime location for hosting the city's national and international artists. I'm Matt Barrows.
And I'm Waverly Monroe. Why one Metro resident felt the need to open an art gallery focused around Latino artwork. These stories and more right here on the Omaha News.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
Art can be found in every district across the city, but One Omaha Art Gallery has been the premier destination in the Midwest for hosting national and international artists. Reporter Maren Krause gives us an exclusive look inside one of these artists' studios.
There are many ways to tell a story.
Especially as a dancer, body parts, hands, limbs, feet, the way we study these body parts separately to conjure up stories in a united form.
For Kuldeep Singh, that is through the creation of art.
There are a lot of layers and meanings, and I work in multiple mediums.
Singh originally is from New Delhi and is currently one of 11 people participating in the Artist in Residency program at the Bemis Center for Contemporary Art. The program is unique because of the amount of support provided for the artists.
It awards a 3-month-long residency. We provide a stipend, travel stipend, and a private live-work studio and all the resources available that Bemis can provide.
And Holly Cranker, the residency program manager, says this is important for artists since they can
dive into their process a little bit deeper and think a little bit more fully without distraction.
Located in downtown Omaha, the Bemis was created in 1981, with June Kaneko being one of the founding members, and has offered the Omaha art community a place to thrive through public programming.
Currently on display is Crossroad, a social sculpture by Derek Adams, which utilizes an interactive game board, music, and trivia in hopes of increasing cultural awareness in Omaha.
And to commemorate its 35 years of supporting artists and residents, the Bemis is holding a year-long rotating exhibit named Time and Space. And that time and space is exactly what artists like Singh need to create.
This is like a void where you can do whatever, but with responsibility.
For the Omaha News, I'm Maren Krause.
If you would like to get your own sneak peek into the artist studios and hear more about the residents' work and inspiration, the Bemis Center will hold an open studio on March 26th from noon to 4 p.m. The event is free and open to all ages.
The 2016 Omaha Film Festival started yesterday. Now, in its 11th year, the event draws filmmakers and screenwriters along with more than 800 entries from over 60 countries. It's being held at the Village Point Theater, and it all gets underway again around 6 p.m. tonight. Winners will be announced Sunday. Last year, filmmakers were awarded more than $28,000 worth of prizes in a number of categories.
El Museo Latino has been a cultural staple in Omaha for decades. Reporter Jared Kennedy tells us the story of how the museum came to be.
Magdalena Garcia loves art.
Making headpieces, penachos.
She also has tremendous pride in her Latino heritage, so much so that she started El Museo Latino, a museum dedicated to Latino-centric artwork. In the early 1990s, Garcia noticed there were only a few Latino museums in the entire United States.
And so it made me stop and think about growing up here in Nebraska. The numbers didn't compare with California, Texas, but we had a growing population. And museums everywhere were looking to address the changing demographics. That's when I started to think about there should be a museum in the Midwest, and why not here?
So Garcia left her corporate job and earned a master's degree in museum studies. El Museo Latino opened up 23 years ago this May, and in that time it served as a bright, shining example of Latino culture in Omaha. The museum is well liked by patrons from all over the world, from just a couple hours away.
Really excited about all the information, the history.
To Spain.
It's amazing, amazing. So, that's the expression.
For the Omaha News, I am Jared Kennedy.
El Museo Latino is currently running a feather art exhibit that can be viewed through June 15th.
Nebraska native Hannah Houston is turning heads and chairs on the popular TV show The Voice. Houston is a preschool teacher at Arnold Elementary School in Lincoln and is taking a break to compete on the show that highlights great unknown singers. At the blind audition, Houston was able to get 3 out of the 4 judges to turn their chairs and persuade her to join their team. Ultimately, she picked singer Pharrell as her coach. Now she continues on to the competition's battle rounds, battling other Team Pharrell members for a chance to be a part of the full televised competition.
The UNO men's and women's basketball teams traveled to Sioux Falls this weekend for the Summit League Conference Tournament. We have those highlights after the break.
Plus, a Maverick hockey team member was named to the 2016 All-Rookie team. Find out who coming up next.
Create, innovate, discover. Coneco UNO Library, where scholar meets creative. Located in downtown Omaha, Coneco Library is designed to bridge education and creation. For students and community members alike, both loud in expression and quiet in nature, encouraging forward thinkers to collaborate in a beautiful space of creative scholarly consciousness. Coneco UNO Library, open space for your mind where momentum is accomplished.
I knew as a music teacher that there were festivals for piano students and that type of thing going up, but there was no real public recognition of children's achievements in music until they got to be in high school.
I was embarrassed because I was in middle school, but it was interesting because I didn't think I was good at that point because, you know, you're middle school, you're just, you could be best in the orchestra, but you're not sure.
I just remember the joy and the giddiness that these students had. They loved coming to the station and having a tour of the station, and it really meant a lot to them to actually have an interview at this radio station, and they were all so excited and so passionate about music.
When I became a classical kid, I got to go to the Gil Shaham concert at the Jazz and Art Museum, and that concert completely changed my life. Being a classical kid really changed the thought of, could I do music professionally? It was really nice winning something like that. It was pretty good.
The classical kids idea was one that stuck because KVNO is all about classical music. It was perfect.
You're watching the Omaha News.
It was a big weekend for the men's and women's UNO basketball teams as they played in the Summit League tournament in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Reporter Avery Wink is in our newsroom today and has those highlights for you. Avery?
Thanks, Matt. The UNO men's basketball team played in their first ever Division I conference tournament this past weekend. Our reporter Justin Eidelman was in Sioux Falls to cover the Mavericks on their journey to the tourney.
The UNO men's basketball team lost their first game in their first Division I Conference League tournament. The Summit League tournament was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where UNO fell to Denver University 78-70, ending their dreams of a bid to the NCAA tournament. Mavericks starting forward Trayshawn Thurman, who tallied 15 points in the loss against Denver, says at halftime they came together as a team, but it just wasn't enough at the end of the night.
We all, took each other's advice, and we came out there and we played like we wanted to win the tournament. And I think we kept it up and we got the lead, but like Coach said, we just used too much energy.
UNO was picked 7th in the preseason polls to finish in the Summit League, but by playing with a chip on their shoulder all year long, they finished with the 3 seed, surprising the conference. Even though Omaha is eliminated for consideration in the NCAA and NIT tournaments, head coach Darren Hansen is hopeful this isn't the last time his team takes the court this season.
You're looking at financial things and you're looking at political things to get into tournaments, and that's in other people's hands, not ours. So I hope it's not our last game. I like this team a lot. We'll look back after a while when it's all done, if there's another tournament or not, and like what we did this year.
Omaha finished the season with an overall record of 18-13 and a conference record of 10-7. Now they will play the waiting game to see if they get an invite for a possible postseason tournament. For the Omaha News, I'm Justin Eidelman.
If the men's basketball team makes a postseason tournament, it will be their first time in program history as a Division I school, which would make history for UNO. Omaha freshman goaltender Evan Wenninger has been named to the National Collegiate Hockey Conference's All-Rookie team. This is the third straight year the Mavs have had a player on the all-rookie team. Jake Ginsel was a member of the inaugural team in 2014 and Luke Snuggerud in 2015. Wenninger played and started in 14 of UNO's 24 conference games and holds a 7-7-0 record. The Omaha women's basketball team traveled to Sioux Falls over the weekend to play in their first ever conference tournament. Our reporter Alex Abler traveled up north to cover the team's first ever postseason tournament.
The UNO Mavericks went to their first ever postseason tournament over the weekend. The Mavericks were a 6th seed going against the IUPUI Jaguars. The Lady Mavs won 62-51. Michaela Shaw, first team All-Summit League forward, led the Mavericks with 22 points. Coach Brittany Lang says that they can't take the win too professionally.
I don't want them to let this moment slip away. We're going to enjoy this for the next couple of hours, get some food, and then it's on to prepping for a very good South Dakota State team.
The UNO Mavericks lost to the South Dakota State Jackrabbits 76-58, ending what could have been a storybook postseason. Sadly, the run came to an end. SDSU coach Aaron Johnston praised the Mavericks in the postgame, despite the 18-point loss.
Congratulations to Omaha. A very good year. First chance in the tournament, and to get a win. It's a really good team we beat, and look at the future of that team is really bright.
The Mavs finished the season 15-15, 7-9 in the Summit League play. Coach Lang declined to comment on anything for this year, but is excited for next year.
We don't just want to exist in Division I. We definitely want to raise the bar to what two teams in this home state have done.
For the Omaha News, I'm Alex Abler.
Coach Lang says that the team has really ramped up the competitiveness of its schedule for next year. They have a lot of talent sitting on the bench. Sophomore pitcher Abby Clanton threw a no-hitter as Omaha swept Northern Colorado 8-1 and 9-0 in non-conference play Tuesday afternoon. In Game 1, Northern Colorado opened the scoring with a run on 2 hits in the bottom of the 5th inning. Omaha responded with 4 runs at the top of the 6th. Game 2 was the game Clanton pitched a no-hitter. Omaha returns to action this weekend at the Jayhawk Invitational in Lawrence, Kansas. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Avery. Still to come, the Westside School Districts finds themselves in a bind as they're forced to make budget cuts across schools.
Plus, what a local advocacy group is doing to help raise awareness for survivals of sexual assault.
Just recently, MAV Radio has won several awards, both from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association as well as the Broadcast Education Association. And I think it just is proof that our students are doing work that is equivalent, if not surpassing, other students around the nation. So I'm really proud of where we've come, and I can't wait to see where we're going.
Watch ICU Learning English on the Knowledge Network.
A little bit about how you're feeling right now. One thing you would like our viewers to know about this state.
The importance of volunteerism.
What are you saying to folks?
I'm here to discuss these images.
When you can take that knowledge and that expertise and that passion in terms that they're all going to understand.
They need to know the real stories.
I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join us for Consider This each week on NET1.
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons. to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
You're watching the Omaha News.
District 66 held their board meeting Monday as schools face a $4 million budget cut. With a turnout from all over District 66, they banded together to show their support for one particular curricular program.
Lady Gaga's dramatic performance at the Oscars a few weeks ago has shed a light on what used to be a sensitive subject. That is exactly what those organizing Take Back the Night want to do as sexual and domestic violence themselves out of their 2016-2017 $5.4 million shortfall. Westside High School Spanish teacher Jennifer Pasketch says it is something that has been building up over the last couple of years.
We've gotten to the point where it is no longer okay to just put a Band-Aid on it. They have to do something drastic to make up for that budget cut.
One solution the district board suggested is a cut in the language arts program, especially with the elementary level Spanish classes. Westside Board suggested replacing teachers with the popular language learning software Rosetta Stone. Westside High School advanced level Spanish teacher Maria Oveda says the teachers impact the classroom every day.
Just the same way that your parents did not say, look at the computer, they're going to teach you how to speak, the same way we can't do that with a second language. If we can't do that with the first, what makes you think that we can do that with a second language?
The board meeting, which normally would have been at the Westside Administration Building, was moved to the Westside High School's auditorium because of the expected turnout. Parents, teachers, and alumni filled Westside High School's auditorium to share how a foreign language impacted their lives. The meeting began with the community members giving their reasoning for keeping the elementary Spanish programs, even giving advice or tips to find the solution elsewhere other than cutting Spanish teachers in the program. Reverend David Paul gave money-saving alternatives instead of cutting teachers and curricular programs.
That saved this church $10,000 a year. Now that's nothing in a bucket of a $5 million cut, right? But what if we did something like that across 12 different buildings?
Westside Community Schools has also proposed to get rid of some of the band and music instructors who work with students from kindergarten up till graduation. Supporters of keeping the language arts program and want to continue the conversation can visit Westside 66 Advocates Facebook page.
Millard Public Schools are also facing a major budget cut. Superintendent Jim Sutphin said the district must find a way to make $4 million in budget cuts for next year. One proposed cut was elimination of some bus routes to Millard's alternative high school. If the conditions worsen, cuts to world languages may also be necessary. Though the budget has gone up about 1% a year for the past 5 years, teaching positions have declined and student enrollment has gone up. If lawmakers don't get state aid back on track, the board may have to cut what Sutphin says is what makes Millard, Millard.
1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men worldwide experience some form of sexual violence. Reporter Jamie Schmitz tells us about a group here in Omaha that is trying to bring awareness to help survivors.
Thanks, Waverly. Less than 50% of victims involved with these crimes don't report them, and those staggering numbers are why events like this are coming here to Omaha.
Lady Gaga's dramatic performance at the Oscars a few weeks ago has shed a light on what used to be a sensitive subject. That is exactly what those organizing Take Back the Night want to do as sexual and domestic violence continues to go unreported.
I think the number one role of this event is to show support for survivors of domestic assault and sexual abuse.
Take Back the Night is all about speaking out and taking a stand. The prep work has been months in the making, and Tuesday night, organizers made posters for the event. They're hoping that a large number of people will come and show support as they walk around the community.
We're going to march up 72nd Street, come into campus, and at kind of an enclosed area in Elmwood right off campus, and there we'll have community speakers to talk about their role in the community regarding the issue, how they help. as well as resources on campus.
This is the first time that Take Back the Night Walk will be here in Omaha. It's not only for UNO students, but it's for the whole community. The purpose of this night is to bring awareness to things that are often labeled as crimes of silence.
I feel like it gives people a sense of comfort and community, which is very important. Having a support system and things like this is extremely important.
The walk is ending here in Elmwood Park with a survivor and her story and some slam poetry. And the organizers of this event are hoping to draw a large crowd to show support to survivors and to victims. Live from Elmwood Park, Jamie Schmitz.
The walk starts tomorrow at 6 with a check-in at Memorial Park. For more information, call 402-554-2890.
Earlier today, former presidential candidate Carly Fiorina gave her support to Senator Ted Cruz. Fiorina says she is, quote, horrified by Donald Trump and believes that Senator Cruz is the only one capable of beating him. This endorsement comes just one day before the next GOP debate in Miami, Florida. Currently, Trump is leading in the national polls and is predicted to win the upcoming Republican primary in Florida.
Coming up after the break, we'll tell you about a local nonprofit trying to spread the word about poverty through the use of film.
Plus, fans of rival soccer teams here in Omaha are putting their differences aside to do some good for the rest of the city.
UNO TV invites you to take a journey around the world, to lush jungles with endangered species, to exotic lands and different cultures, to lost cities beneath the sands. Travel through time to see ancient secrets on the other side of the world, the growth of the American West, or the start of Nebraska's largest city. Or just explore our state. Find out about Nebraska in World War II. Learn how Omaha has grown since. Discover the effort to renovate its green spaces, the history of one of its most impressive buildings, or look at its internationally recognized university. For over 20 years, UNO TV has produced award-winning documentaries that explore, educate, and enlighten. To find out more, call 402-554-2516 or visit unotv.unomaha.edu.
UNO Television gives students a chance to work in a real studio. Working on the TV crew, students get hands-on experience with lights, camera, and action. Working on a variety of shows gives students a leg up looking for jobs. In fact, many former crew members work at local stations. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for students to learn the science and art of TV production. UNO TV, student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
According to the nation's most recent census data, almost 50 million people currently live in poverty. And in Omaha, the number of those living in poverty is on the rise. But there is one local nonprofit encouraging people to make a difference through the power of film. A recent study by the University of Nebraska, Omaha, found increasing rates of poverty among the metro's minority populations. In some communities, as much as 8% in the last 10 years.
In the Tri-County area, we're talking nearly 30% of our population lives at or slightly above the poverty line.
Which is why local nonprofit organization Together created its new documentary called Out of Frame. What makes this documentary different from others about poverty is this one spotlights that which is specific to Omaha. According to Executive Director Mike Hornacek, the main purpose of the documentary is to create
awareness.
Definitely, I think the stereotype is that it's a single adult, typically a male.
This past week, a screening of the film was provided to students, faculty, and community members in UNO's Community Engagement Building.
And we're really seeing a rise of families in homelessness, and it looks just like the person next to you.
Film creator Jason Fisher said he wants to tell the stories of impoverished Omahans so that
everyone else could understand and relate to what these numbers and these people mean.
But the ultimate goal, Fisher says, is
really just getting involved any way you can, whether it's nonprofit or just personally, because it's going to take a village pretty much to do this.
Together, Omaha hopes their video will be used by nonprofits and congregations around the metro area and abroad to inspire people for change in their communities. More information about the film can be found at togetheromaha.org.
Though there is some good news, according to the U.S. labor market, the economy added around 242,000 jobs in February, while the unemployment rate held steady at 4.9%. However, despite the growing job opportunities, hourly wages declined for the month, falling 3 cents. That's 2.5% lower than in January. Bulk of those jobs available came from healthcare, retail, and restaurants.
Nebraska requires people to train for 490 days before attaining a cosmetology license. If Governor Pete Ricketts signs a bill passed by the state legislature, people who braid hair will not need a cosmetology license to practice. This has become a popular bill because most cosmetology schools do not teach hair braiding, and they can cost up to $20,000 in tuition. Iowa has been facing controversy over laws requiring a cosmetology license for hair braiding and is currently battling a lawsuit over the issue.
Local soccer fans have been gathering at St. Andrew's Pub to watch their favorite teams for years. Now they decided to put their hatred aside in order to do some good for the Omaha Metro. Our Avery Wink shows us just what they did to help those less fortunate.
While many are sleeping in or nursing their weekend hangovers, Omaha soccer fans flock to St. Andrews and Benson in the early hours of the morning to watch their favorite teams play. With the big North London Derby this past Saturday, both Arsenal and Tottenham supporters groups wanted to spice the morning up a little bit. Omaha supporters chairman Ryan Sewell said that after considering many different ideas, they finally found the one.
We talked with the Omaha Gooners fan club and the Omaha Spurs club, and we decided one way to do some good and have some fun would be to do a food drive that would benefit the Sienna Francis House.
Omaha soccer fans have been frequenting St. Andrew's Pub for years, and while there hasn't been a philanthropy event like this in the past, Omaha Gooners chairman Dan Seenborst says there could be some to follow.
I think with all the coverage we might get with this, just with our pictures and promoting it on Facebook, I think we can get our supporters clubs even bigger and make this event bigger and bigger, and maybe we start doing some greater things in this.
There was a great turnout overall, with over 40 patrons attending and donating cans. But Seenborst says he was slightly disappointed with his side's contributions.
We didn't turn out as well as I would have liked us to turn out today, but with the amount of our supporters who brought cans out, and every one of them brought a significant amount, I think it was a huge success.
This event shows that even fierce rivals can put their hate aside for the good of the less fortunate. Besides, even if their teams didn't perform how they would have liked, helping others is enough of a reason to cheer. For the Omaha News, I'm Avery Wink.
According to Sewell, there are hundreds of cans donated, and the dock workers remarked that it was the largest single carload of donated food they'd seen.
And that does it for this week's edition of the Omaha News.
From all of us here, thanks for joining us, and good night.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders, a place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Watch the Omaha News Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on the Knowledge Network.
When will you look deep into space? When will you travel back in time? When will you experience the power of red? When? Anytime. online at video.netnebraska.org. Search, select, and share with the NET Video Player. Watch our shows on your schedule.